So now I'm going to show you how to use VNCViewer and PuTTY, an SSH client, to dial into your VNC server over the internet. And why this is so cool is that to expose your server to the internet or your Raspberry Pi, you have to do port forwarding. And that leaves a lot of risk, as you've seen in my fail to ban videos, where you just get lots and lots of bots pinging your devices trying to break in using different sets of credentials. And so what this does is that by using port 22, the SSH port, you end up limiting the number of points of egress into your network, into your server. It's less moving pieces to manage and worry about. It's just easy. So I'm going to show you how to set this up using PuTTY for the PC. I'll leave a link to download PuTTY in the video description. So the first thing you need to do is come into PuTTY and state, where the heck am I? I've set this up, and you can't see my host name or IP address, but because it dials to my personal home. But your home's IP address will go here, or if you've set up a domain name, that will go there. And one of the first things you do is you come down to SSH, and you click on X11, and you enable X11 forwarding. It's the first thing that you do. And then once you've enabled it, you come up to session, and you should have your IP address up here. You name it something and hit save. The next thing you do is you connect to your device. Close up my old one. And you're going to start VNC Server. You may, if you already started VNC Server, you don't need to repeat that step. What this step does is it gets you two key pieces of information. Right here, you can see something called Gateway Pi 51. That's the host name within my Raspberry Pi. And that :1 tells us it's the which server it is, or like what instance it is. It's instance 1, right? So take a note of the username, the host name, Gateway Pi 51, and the for all intents and purposes the username 1. So we're going to come in here, do VNC Server -kill :1, and that's going to kill the instance that I just set up. Next, we're going to cd into ~.vnc/, and I should have a file called xstartup. Yep. You probably will not have that file there. I created it when I did my practice round of this tutorial. So I'll come and do sudo nano xstartup. I just typed that in wrong, didn't I? xstartup. Cool. So you're going to come in here, and you're going to, I'm going to put this in the video description. You're going to put in copy this in. Unset session manager execute /etc/x11/xinitiate/xinitiate rc. What exactly it does, I'm not totally sure, but it's integral to the process. Control X, Y, enter to save it, and you restart VNC Server. It's easy breezy, VNC Server. And again, we've got localhost, Gateway Pi 51, and the username or the server name 1. Keep that in mind. The next thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to close out of this instance. I'm going to pull up PuTTY. Here's my internet. Load it. My internet access to my Raspberry Pi. And we're going to come in here, and we're going to come down to expand SSH and do tunnel. And I'm going to delete my old one, and I'll walk you through it. So the source port for VNC Server and VNCViewer is 5900. So that becomes the source port, and the destination is the local host, in which case we're going to use my Gateway Pi 51 :5900, and then change whatever sets of numbers behind it to be the number for your VNC server, in which case mine was 1, yours will probably be 1. So yours will end up being Gateway Pi or in my case, Gateway Pi 51 :5901, and I'll click the add button, and that puts it right here. And I come back to session, and hit save. Very, very important. At this point, we're going to load internet. Really? Oh yeah, we loaded already. double click on internet, that's going to load us up. It's dialing into my server over the internet. Login as Pi, here's my password. And now the tunnel is set up. Now I'm going to launch VNCViewer. And for the host, the server name, you're going to do localhost. And what it's doing is your PuTTY, your SSH client, has set up a tunnel through the internet to the VNC server, in which case my Raspberry Pi. And it's set up that tunnel as localhost. Pretty cool. So enter my password, OK, and check it out. We have dialed my Raspberry Pi VNC server over the internet through SSH. This becomes very handy if you want to do remote management, download files without having to use an FTP client. You want to go in and make tweaks to anything. You want to access your router to, externally, but you only want to have one gateway through your firewall. So super cool, super easy. And this becomes very, very handy if you want to set up Alexa on Raspberry Pi remotely.